Hi everyone, welcome to our VTuber Studio Open Q&A session today. See a lot of new faces in here and a bit of a switch up. So instead of doing virtual production sessions today, we'll be switching up to talk about our VTuber Studio project. So for those of you who are new to our VTuber Studio project, it is part of the open repository project from Offworld Live. This VTuber Studio is an open source template that features the vast capabilities of the Offworld live streaming toolkit, which includes a lot of materials and assets for VTubers and live streamers. So in itself, this studio is an editor game, but also it has streaming capabilities in editor and in package game. So for those of you who are interested to quickly customize and package your own VTuber Studio to release on Marketplace or Steam, so this is a really good project template to start with, and we'll be providing all these open source assets for you to use. So some of the core features of this VTuber Studio, we've talked about capture systems from Offworld live streaming toolkit, but we also have the media output options for you to stream in and out of Unreal. We also have this custom actor blueprint that allows you to quickly select the desired capture systems, their respective render targets, and the materials you want them to be displayed on. We also have covered live link and different kind of example assets with avatars, environment meshes, and materials. So our Wednesday Discord open Q&A sessions, as mentioned, we're usually on Discord on Wednesday, 3 p.m. BST, British Summer Time, but we've previously covered different environment building, media input output, as well as games packaging in our previous sessions, but in this week we will be talking a lot more about avatar customization as well as Twitch integration. So new updates on our VTuber Studio can be found on our GitHub repository. This is the link to our repository. Feel free to clone the project and set it up. There are all these instructions in the README already in there, so feel free to clone and try out our project. So one major update this week is that one of our community members has created a Twitch integration plugin. So with Offworld, with this new plugin, you're able to kind of get Twitch chat messages into Unreal, and then using these messages to activate or change different level interactions. So here you can see, as a very quick example, we'll be doing a bite-sized tutorial on how to get Twitch chat integrations to generate kind of Niagara particles for it to spawn at a certain time, for example. So this is what we're going to be doing today. And for those of you new to this Discord session, we'll just be basically going through a few quick steps, and then feel free to jump in and ask any questions. So we're particularly looking at this Twitch integration plugin today, and it's a very, very fresh plugin. It's probably our first version, but it will be shared with everyone here. And if you want to just follow together in this session, I'm just going to drop this zip file into here. Hopefully I'll be able to, so in the chat here you'll be able to find this zip file, which is a plugin that you can insert into the plugin folder of your project. In here you will find a Twitch integration plugin that allows you to link your application to your Twitch account, and on top of that we've also got a new a page for you to get a Twitch token to insert the OAuth token into this into a blueprint for you to use this plugin. So I know it sounds like a lot, but we'll just be diving into step by step. It's super simple. I think you can set it up within 10 minutes. and really we'll be trying to use viewer engagement as interactive elements in your level. So for those of you who are VTubers already or do a lot of live streaming, I feel like this makes the VTubing experience much more enriching, and you just feel like you're less alone. You're always like hanging out with people. So how to use the Offworld Live interactive streamer plugin. You basically have to just create a blueprint class that inherits you basically have to create a blueprint that inherits the Twitch chat connection manager class, and then drag this blueprint into as an actor into your scene. In this blueprint you will find the kind of username, channel, as well as the OAuth token. So after you put in all these details, you can then get into the blueprint event graph and then create interactions. So in here you'll find an event, a blueprint event called Twitch chat message received. So on this event you'll be able to kind of generate or reference different kind of components in your level that you want to trigger or change, and set different floats, timelines, play different animations, so on and so forth. So I think this makes this is a super simple workflow we'll be introducing, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of reproduce this process super quickly. So now I think it would be cool if we can go into the Unreal project, and hopefully the person I'm watching is still streaming. So I'll be using a person's Twitch stream to kind of simulate the effects of your own stream. So I'm just going to play in my level to show you what we'll be working on today. Alright, so in here you will see that we've got a Metahuman in the scene, and there is a media output kind of preview TV on this desk, and then an audio blueprint that we've covered last few weeks, and we have media input options in the back. But what's new this week is that you can see there's a lot of kind of Niagara effects in the background. And then on top of that, there is kind of like real-time updated messages coming in from Twitch. So today, I think I've just gone on Twitch to find some kind of Diablo stream, because I feel like the chat messages will be the most active. So we'll be using this person's stream as our kind of Twitch chat example. So in here you'll see that as we get chat messages coming in, you will see this updated on Unreal in real time. And while there are new messages, you'll also see the kind of like effects being more active and saturated. So very simple workflow. As mentioned earlier, we'll be creating a blueprint that inherits the Twitch chat connection manager class. We'll be looking into, let me just find my main folder. So as you can see here, you can basically create a blueprint class and then search for Twitch chat. Sorry, I'm just going to backtrack. So once you, I'm just going to put this back into the plugins. I forgot that. So for those of you who have access to the chat here, you'll find that once you extract the zip file, you can put this folder into your plugin folder in the project. So I'm just going to find out. So I basically extracted the plugin folder, extracted the kind of plugin, and then place it inside the plugins in this project. If you're cloning from GitHub, you will have the kind of plugin already with you, so Just a note, if you are doing this on your own project, you'll have to first put the plugin in your folder, and then in Edit Plugins, make sure this is activated. So we've named the plugin Owl Interactive Streamer. Once you activate it, you should be able to find these folders and C++ files in your content browser. So in order to create a blueprint, we'll just have to right click, find blueprint class, and then under all classes search for Twitch chat connection manager. Just selected, and I'm going to make this Twitch test 1, let's say. I've already you can already see that I've created a blueprint previously, but I'm just going to start from scratch. So now you can drag this blueprint into your level, and in here you'll see that it's taking in 3 types of information. One is an OAuth token. In order to get this OAuth token, when you hit play with this kind of like Twitch blueprint in your scene, it should automatically lead you to this page. You'll get this web page kind of pop up, and then you'll have to click Get Access Token. By clicking this button, it will direct you to log into Twitch, and in here, I won't click it in here now to kind of expose my token, but once you click this button, you'll be able to find a string that you can place inside your this blank here. And then username, I put in my own, but for channel, I have put in this person I've been watching, so Vextra Life. And once all of this is filled in, I would then probably save the level and then go into my event graph in the blueprint. So in here, you might not need to use any of these, so I'm just going to delete this at the moment. But what you might need is, as mentioned, we have a custom event, which is called Twitch event Twitch chat message received. So once you've inserted a channel name, it'll start fishing out these kind of chat messages coming in. In order to get the kind of message on its own, and you want to just print string to try out, to check what messages you're getting, you'll have to break the Twitch chat message. And in here, you'll be able to find the kind of information you need. So for this tutorial today, we'll be looking into mostly messages. So we'll be just getting messages. And in here, if you want to just check
Okay, I was able to hear that, so apparently my audio on my side's working, but not hearing anything from the presentation.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, I can hear. Sorry.
Yay, she's back.
How long was I gone for?
Uh,
Maybe like five. Was it 5 minutes or before the Niagara system? Did we get until? Let me see. Maybe I can hear back the stream to see where I was. Let me see. Yes, sorry. Um, I've realized my microphone goes away because I'm using an Alienware laptop and the button's just next to my backspace, so I always keep touching that, sorry. So, yes, back to, let's backtrack to the Twitch chat connection manager. Oops. So in here you'll have to put in the three blanks, which is the OAuth token, username, and then channel. So in a channel, I've just pasted in the channel name of this person that I'm watching right now, and in the kind of blueprint, um, in the blueprint over here, which is Twitch test 1, I've had to break the Twitch chat. Sorry, just going back a little. So I had to drag this Twitch test once into my scene, and you'll see that these three blanks need to be filled. And in here, I wanted to test if my Twitch connection is working. So I went into the event graph of the plugin, and so in the event graph, we have a custom event called event Twitch chat message received. So in here, you'll be able to get to receive messages and get the message. And in order to know how to test that your connection is working, you can link up. You can kind of go into the chat message and type break. This is for you to break the message into break the kind of like incoming messages into different parts. And for today's tutorial, we're accessing messages. So yeah, in the event graph, when you open a blueprint, you can go into Twitch test 1 and then edit in blueprint. It should show the event graph should then show up immediately. If not, you'll be able to find it in here in the tabs over here. Perfect, amazing. So yeah, with this plugin, you can get messages from the Twitch chat, and then you'll have to break the Twitch chat message. And today we want to access the kind of messages and test if these messages are coming through. So I'll just use a print string, and I've linked the event node to the print string, and then compile and save. So because I already have a duplicated blueprint here, I'm going to just delete this for the moment, but I'll show you the effect you should be expecting. This is what you should see over here. Cool. So we know that the messages are getting printed on the screen, so which means that the connection is working. So now I want to use these messages, incoming messages, to generate different effects. And so currently the messages are just print strings. So print string is usually for you to log different, when you're developing the application or game, you just want to see whether some things are working. So it's more like a test for yourself. to use these messages to do something else. For example, today we'll be using Niagara particles, and to kind of just use whenever we have messages coming in, we'll be kind of creating or intensifying a visual effect, let's say. So I've been using this particle system from the VRM plugin, which I think is beautiful, and I think it's this kind of bokeh, blurry bokeh effect, like so. So this asset you should be able to find in the project, and just search FX Rainbow, but you can basically use any Niagara system you like. And just going back to this now, I'm gonna delete what I've done and recreate this. So if I want to create a parameter, like a user exposed parameter to kind of control different parameters inside the particle system, I will need to kind of create a new kind of variable, let's say. So in here I have in user expose, this is where you can create a new float. So when you click the plus sign, you can go into you can type float, and you can create a new float. So you can think of this as a new kind of controller for your Niagara system. And I'm going to make this test 1 as well. And once you've created a user exposed parameter, you can apply this parameter in any of these kind of emitter states, spawn rate, particle updates, and different things. So the float can be applied to any of these. So for example, if I click on the little drop down over here, you can search for the float that you want to use. For example, test 1. So once you have this, you can then reference this kind of you can reference this parameter in a blueprint that's outside of this Niagara system. So that's what we will be doing today. And in here I have created, so instead of test 1, in here I've created a user exposed parameter called message received. So I want this to be a parameter that can help me change the spawn rate of the particle system. So you can see that I've kind of bounded this value, this float value, to the spawn rate of this particle system. And once that's done, we can go back to the Twitch test 1. So in here you'll have to reference the kind of Niagara system, and first, before you do that, you have to place this Niagara system inside your level. So in here you will we've just done the kind of user parameter settings in this Niagara system. Next, you'll have to drag this into your scene. So I've just dragged from my content browser into the level, and in here you will find the FX Rainbow Niagara actor. And if you scroll down here, you'll see that message received is now a kind of is now visible in editor, and you can see this as a kind of like controller for your Niagara system. So if I kind of boost up the value to 2000, it gets super bright and blurry, and then if you go back to 1, the effect is very minimal. So now we have a kind of controller inside the level that helps us change different things inside the Niagara actor. This is great. Next, we'll need to use this kind of the plugin we've created to we'll need to use the plugin we created and reference this actor and then change the value. of the message received value. So in the blueprint, I'll have to first create a variable. So I've clicked create variable, and I've typed in Niagara as the name of this variable. And in here, I've searched for Niagara actor, which is the same type as the Niagara actor we place in the scene for FX Rainbow. So Niagara actor object reference. And then in the Twitch connection manager, once you've compiled and saved, you will see that there is a option for us to choose a Niagara system, Niagara actor in your level. So I've just done that to make sure that I am linking this connection manager to the Niagara actor in the level. And going back to the blueprint, now we can do a lot of things. So after we print string, we were basically in this stage where we printed the message, and we can see the messages coming in from Twitch. Then we want to change some things in the Niagara actor, and for that we will need to get the Niagara actor and then set parameter. Set float parameter. Because we created a float in the in this FX Rainbow, we just have to basically set the float to another value. But first we'll need to reference the parameter name. So the parameter name is basically the user exposed parameter. To avoid any typos, I usually just go right click on this message received and copy reference. And in my blueprint, paste the parameter name inside this blank over here. Just connect to this, and I'll set this to 500. Basically what we're doing here now is that I want this parameter to be set to 500 whenever we receive messages. And as mentioned, this parameter is linked to the spawn rate of the particle system, so that every time we print the messages, afterwards we'll be setting the spawning rate to be 500. And now you will see that hopefully whenever we have messages, it will start spawning and it will start getting super colorful. That's great. However, the value is constantly set at 500, so we'll basically need to reduce the value after it's set. In order to do that, we basically just have to set add a bit of delay, and then set probably for 2 seconds, and then set the same value to be close to 1, let's say. So now we'll be able to use this to control. So every time there is a kind of message coming in, we'll be able to get some effects. So just need to wait for the next person. Okay, the next person's commented, so now we get effects. Then it should go down. It should die down after the message is gone, and then another message comes in, colourful. So yeah, that's basically a quite simple, slightly simple blueprint to set up with the plugin, but there are many use cases. So depending on different emotes or different kind of like text that's coming in, you can trigger different interactions within your level. And so hopefully this is helpful for some of you, but I'll be creating a more proper kind of write-up and documentation on how to use this plugin. Yes. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to message us if you want any help setting this up. As mentioned, it probably took me only like 5 minutes to set up, but just thinking about the interaction in the level will take a bit longer. But yeah, hopefully this will kind of inspire you to create different interactions in your scene depending on the kind of Twitch chats coming in. Starters, is the Unreal Engine easily usable even in a low-end PC? So yes, I've tested, depending on what you mean by a low-end PC, I'm working on an Alienware laptop right now, which is with a 3080 Ti graphics card. But I've also tested this project on a 2070 and it's been working. So I think you can optimize the level to make it run smoother on a, for example, lower end PC. I just think generally this level is quite light on most computers, apart from the Metahuman. So I've realized that my FPS does drop if I don't use the Metahuman. So I've kind of like removed some of the hairs. For distribution, I've removed the kind of hair so you can see the character is bold. There's still eyebrows there, so it's a bit more effort for the computer, but generally you can kind of take down some elements to make this scene run much better on your laptop or computer. Yes. It also depends on, the kind of like materials I've been using as well. I've noticed like with this kind of reflective material on the Metahuman suit, probably is, I wouldn't advise using something like that in a scene, so you can make your scene much more simple to make this run smoother. But currently we can check our FPS. I think there's something wrong with my laptop though, so I don't know if it's the most accurate. You can see that the FPS does drop, maybe when messages are coming on, I'm not sure. It did drop a little. But yeah, I'm just running quite a few things at the moment, which is also why my FPS isn't the best. Alongside the Metahuman. Yes, so to create environments in this project, it's very, very useful because it comes with a lot of kind of modular elements you can assemble your environments with. So in here you'll be able to find a environment folder in this project folder, and you will find different light rigs, for example. So this is a light rig, allows you to kind of like add light and point light to a certain angle, so it looks exactly like this one up here. And then we've also included different meshes. So these are content packs allowing you to create the environment you want in the style of our kind of like off-world style. So it comes with all these assets already. You basically have to just drag these in to the level and then like rotate them, assemble them to make a kind of level that's very similar. Yes, so you're also interested in the kind of like mocap options we're looking at for this avatar. So we've tested quite a few things. Currently this project is still running on LiveLink, so you will need an iPhone and then using the IPv4 address, communicate with Unreal with LiveLink. But yes, so I can show you in a bit later, but alternatively we're looking for more options that are more accessible to non-iPhone users as well. So we've been looking at this plugin called Face Real. We've also been looking for other plugins, and hopefully we'll be able to find the kind of like Windows compatible option that is good on your computer but also doesn't force you to use an iPhone with this kind of VTuber setup. So it'll be more integrated because it's all running on the same computer. But yeah, feel free to send us any suggestions. I have tested VC Face before. I think it's working on 2D. I think the difficulty with that is that the face mocap is probably great, but to create the bridge between mocap data and then blend shapes for Metahuman is a bit of work, so we haven't gotten around doing that yet, and there might be existing options already. And VC Face, is more commonly used with VRM avatars, which we also have included in this project, but we've got different characters imported in here. Yeah, so with the kind of like 3D quality we're looking for, we generally feel like the Metahuman allows us to explore more of that side. So we're hoping to find more face mocap options for Metahumans that's easily configurable. The idea of open project is that so the open repository project in Off-World Live is really to provide these open source templates for you to use and package very quickly into your own game or VTuber studio, so on and so forth. So the virtual production side of things, we also provide a lot of example assets for you to use. So hopefully we'll be able to find a lot more of these options. We've already included the VRM plugin. We've included different retargeters for you to download kind of animations from Mixamo and then retarget into Metahumans or VRM. We have this light rig that I just find super useful, and a lot more content is going to come in as well. So any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Yeah, we're also hoping that we're hoping these tutorials, weekly tutorials and demos are very bite-sized, so that whichever level you're on, you'll be able to catch up. And myself, I'm also a super beginner in Unreal, so it's really nice to just kind of share knowledge in this server. But yeah, very nice to meet you, and thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, thank you. I thought I was super unprepared today. Hopefully it's going to be more clear. But I've just got this sorted out earlier. haven't haven't prepared too much. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be coming back with another demo next Wednesday at 3 p.m. And then on Thursdays we have Jasper's virtual production tutorials, which are super, super useful. Working with composure, different virtual environments. So if you're interested in virtual environments, I would really recommend going to the Thursdays because I find them super useful. And then looking at the kind of previous playlists, you'll be able to find how we use persistent levels to change up environments really quickly. So let's say if you have kind of 3 environments you want to change between, maybe we can even use Twitch chat integration to switch between these levels, to switch you in different environments. So that user engagement can actually change the kind of worlds that you're streaming from. So I think that could be a super interesting route to take as well. But yeah, thanks so much everyone for coming in, and hopefully see you soon next week. Thank you.